plant, which I guarantee grows somewhere around you, is Rhus Typhina or Rhus Glabra. And this particular variety is staghorn sumac, so it has a hairy stem. And the berry clusters of these, this red portion right here, these are taken off, and between 10 and 15 heads are smooshed up and rubbed in about a gallon of water. And what results is a citrus flavored pink lemonade. And this is really where the origin of pink lemonade stems from. There was machines back in the 1800s that some of the founding fathers actually created in order to scrub citric acid off of these plants. The difference between this and poison sumac is pretty great. Poison sumac grows in swamps. This sumac grows in old abandoned areas. This just happens to be a field. And poison sumac has white berries, so completely unmistakable differences. Rhus Typhina or Rhus Glabra. When harvesting these beautiful staghorn sumac heads, it's always best to lick your finger. So I'll show you my technique. The people you're making it for may not appreciate it, but lick your finger and then kind of stick your finger towards the middle of this and then lick your finger again. And if it tastes kind of sour or almost like citrus, then you know that that head's worth harvesting. It's not the best to harvest after a rainstorm. They're much better after a couple days of dry weather because they produce more citric acid at that point. So most of these aren't going to be very strong because we just had pretty torrential downpours, but good to use as an example. And maybe later on in the video I'll show you how to prepare these. I did a video before, but it wasn't very clear, so we can take a look at that later. I found the best way to harvest sumac is to reach right below it. And you can usually just snap it right off at the point where the berry is. And this way you're not disturbing too much of the plant. You could also use a knife, which would probably be better, but I'd rather not be wielding a knife with one hand while I'm doing this video. And they get pretty large. This is a good size one. Probably 7 of these or so would be enough to make a really good batch of sumac lemonade. And we'll take a look at how to make that in a little bit. But for now, I'll harvest some, show you the results, and then we'll get to that part. The amazing thing to note about sumac is the inner bark of the cambium, so the green growing layer, was shown to be one of the most effective antibacterial and antibiotic herbs out of about 150 or so tested in the New England area. So we have a really powerful medicine available to us, and it's really easy to harvest. You could look for downed older limbs. I like to use the softer ones, so if there's a big storm, oftentimes these will break off because they're pretty hollow in the center. And you'd scrape away the outer green part and tincture that. You can just dry it out and save it to use as a tea. But the inner cambium is an amazing, amazing herbal medicine for bacterial infections, particularly with the chest. I've had good luck using this to treat chest infections, like bacterial lung infections and things like that. Plus it tastes great too. It has kind of the citric taste that the berries have as well. So another amazing use for this plant. So after about 2 minutes of harvesting, this was the end result. And I usually look for the darker ones, but this is just what's available right now, and I wanted to make some sumac lemonade tonight, so we'll look at the steps to do that in a little bit.